Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Torn Down the Middle, Chapter 2, and this one is titled Catastrophe and Tragedy. Because you were both going to the same school, in the same direction, you had to walk the same way. So you did, bickering the whole time. You had missed the first day of school yesterday because you forgot what date it started, so everyone had started to pair up and find their friend groups. Thankfully though, a bubbly pink-skinned beauty and a dark-haired cool cat with earphone jacks came up to you as you entered the back of the room, just behind the angry blonde toilet brush. "Hey," the bubbly chick called, extending her hand to you. "I'm Mina Ishido. Just call me Mina though," she said, slinging an arm across your shoulders. "Hey," the dark-haired girl said flatly. "I'm Jirou." You waited for her to say her full name, but she was finished. "Oh, okay, so no first name? Alrighty then," you chuckled internally. "I'm Yinlin, master of absolutely nothing, specializing in weird humor and everything cringe," you said proudly. Mina burst out laughing, and Jirou cracked a smile. "You're alright," Jirou said with a nod of approval. "So you know Bakugou then?" Mina said, changing subject slightly. "Bakugou?" you asked, cocking your head at Mina curiously. "Yeah, the guy you followed in, angry blonde," she said, jerking her head towards where Bakugou was talking to a spiky redhead. "Oh, him," you said. "No, I don't know him. I just ran up the back of him this morning and the mother trucker made me drop my toast." "Bastard," Jirou said coldly. "I know, right?" you exclaimed. "But Karma came back and bit him in the ass because he's still got crap in his hair and on his shirt from when my toast slammed into him." Jirou sneered as she saw what you were talking about, and Mina laughed. "Toast 1, Bakugou 0. "You laughing at me, crumb-face?" Bakugou suddenly bellowed across the room at you. "Sure am, toast murderer," you screamed back. "Match made in heaven," Jirou teased sarcastically. "Ugh, if I wanted to date the devil, I'd have asked for his number sooner," you said, jerking your head towards where Bakugou was still glaring at you from the corner of his eye, while the redhead tried to defuse the situation. Mina chuckled, and then turned her attention on the rest of the class, pointing people out to you and telling you their names. She had gotten about 4 people in when she pointed to a jewel-haired boy sitting and looking out the window. "That's Todoroki Shoto," she said. You frowned. "That name sounds familiar." "Probably is because he's Hero Endeavor's son," Jirou said dryly. You hummed, thinking. Just then he turned and looked at you. Your heart skipped a beat. "Wait, he looks familiar." "Okay, sit down everyone. Time is money and money buys coffee to keep you awake so you don't fall asleep and lose your job," a very tired-looking teacher said as he entered the room and stood at the front of class. "Yeah, that's Aizawa," Mina said quickly as she took a seat. "Ah," he said softly, looking at the teacher as he stood in the middle of one of the aisles. His bored gaze fell on you. Suddenly you realised that you were just standing there looking stupid while everyone had taken their seats. Your head whipped around looking for a spare seat to hide in. "Yinlin, I presume," he sighed. "The one and only," you said, laughing hollowly with a sigh on the end, wishing the ground would just swallow you up as all the students' eyes fell on you. "Did you want to come and introduce yourself?" he asked, but it was more of a sarcastic, rhetorical question. "Do I have a choice?" you replied as you made your way up the front, stumbling on your own feet and apologising profusely to everyone you bumped into. You got to the front, and for some reason the only person you locked eyes with was Todoroki Shoto. Hi," you said shyly, acting like you were addressing him directly and him only. Everyone else in the room seemed to fade away. "My name's Yinlin. I'm looking forward to getting to know you better," he added softly, nervously twisting your fingers into the side of his skirt. He looked at you curiously, but his facial expressions never gave any more of him away. "There's more of us in the room, crumb-face," a sharp, annoyed voice snapped from the back of the room. You immediately located who had said it and snapped. "You are the last person that I'd ever want to get to know better," you snarled, balling your hands up. The mood in the room shifted as quickly as your mood did, and a timid brunette at the front gulped and sank down in his seat. "Well, that was an introduction," Aizawa said plainly. "You're sitting in front of Bakugou, so you'll be getting to know him a lot better." You groaned and let your head flop back, eyes staring at the ceiling. "God, why do you hate me?" You dragged your feet up the aisle and shot Bakugou a dirty look as you pulled the chair out from the desk and sat down. All your nerves were on edge having such an arsehole sitting behind you. Todoroki had watched you walk to your seat. He couldn't help but feel that he had met you somewhere before. "Mom, I'm home!" you yelled as you entered the house. You had survived your first day at UA. Bakugou had been pissing you off the most with his aggressive comments and actions that came out of absolutely nowhere. Right now you just wanted to lock yourself in your room and stare at the ceiling while listening to your favourite music. "Ian, sweet, can you please come here?" your mum called, her voice sounding shaky. "Mum?" you asked as you walked into the lounge room. She was crying. "Mum," you gasped, "what's wrong?" Your dad was there too, his arms wrapped around your mum, comforting her. She burst into tears again, and a lump formed in your throat. "What's happening?" you choked as your mouth ran dry. "It's Grandma," your mum sobbed. "She's just been diagnosed with cancer. The doctor said she only has 6 months left to live." Grandma was your mum's mum, so it was hitting her the hardest. Your heart sank. Sorry to end it there. The next chapter will be up tomorrow, chapter 3, and hopefully I'll see you all there.